the pinnacle of luxury living. I mean, wow, just look at it, from the landscape features to the seating areas to the waterfalls to the fire pit area, and a 360 view of the facade of this house is so jaw-dropping. Every single element and design decision has been hand-picked and handmade to ensure that this is the most luxurious property. This property honestly has so much to offer, from the sprawling lush green lawns to the water features to the outdoor sitting areas. But let's start right here at the entrance. These gorgeous steps that I'm walking on right now have lights underneath to ensure that you're getting a really great vibe as you're getting into the house, but most importantly is to highlight each step of the way for safety purposes. Now, the entrance is not just the door and this beautiful entrance area. We also have so much greenery in this space. So we have plenty of grass and trees and greenery on this side that we've been taking care of. We have the landscape lighting to highlight all the beautiful features. And of course, over here, we have this water feature and handcrafted sculpture. Not only do we have this gorgeous sculpture that has been handcrafted by our experts on a stone that was sourced from Kenya in Kisii County, and the art is just amazing. So it also functions as a water fountain. So this will be turned on, it will absolutely add to the ambience, and that's why we have all these lights pointing at it. Another thing you might be missing is the fact that underneath we have the hidden water tank. So you can see the full function of this entire entrance is not only visually interesting, but like you'll hear things as you're walking in, and it's just going to set the vibe as you're walking through the house. This is why Fine Urban really prides itself on creating a whole experience and also adding value to your property. Now, as we're about to walk in, I have to highlight the pillars. There's something about getting the right dimensions at your entrance that just adds to the regality of the house. And if we're looking at the before and afters, you will see how impactful this one change has been in the color, in the texture, and of course in the craftsmanship. As we approach, we're continuing with those visual features. Another hand-picked piece by our lead designer here at the entrance. I just know that that light is just going to illuminate and set such a great vibe as you're walking into the house. Now, approaching the double doors. I love those huge doors where I stand next to it and I feel like so small, and I'm like, oh, it's so regal and you can feel it. But I have the exact same feeling at these doors because of the execution. I think that's the thing that truly matters. We don't have the biggest entrance, but I still feel like I'm walking into a regal household, because not only are they high quality, you can definitely tell when you touch anything by Fine Urban that the quality is stellar, but also by the craftsmanship. The amount of art and care and time that has gone into this really does make it feel 100% inviting, and the addition of that glass, I just know, allows all that gorgeous light to come into this entrance. Anytime you walk into a property by Fine Urban, there's moments that you'll just feel compelled to pause, because there's many things to see, and I'm not just talking about beyond, we'll get into that, but just here, the tiling effect is so warm, so clean, so excellently done. I can already see the contrast in colors with the steps, but just that warmth that I'm feeling is also coming from the gypsum design and the lighting. It has been designed in a way where the lighting fixtures, you can see we have several recessed lights and spotlights. All that light is just so warm and so inviting and feels like it's guiding me to go forward. But as you know, we have multiple spaces that we have to see before we can get in. So I'm gonna start with the office space. Right over here, wow, oh my goodness. Today, I'm getting to see the soft furnishings and the wall hangings and the final paint colors, and this office is just so cozy. It's been chilly recently, but there's an element of a warmth and coziness in this house. The paint colors are gorgeous. That just feels like really, really soft. And of course, we have to talk about how this office has been designed. We have the display shelves on either side and these classic fine urban touches with the texture over here that just makes things not feel monotonous. You can see everything is the same color, but there's still like things that catch your eye. Of course, we have the lovely big windows. I have to touch those curtains. Oh my goodness. Look at that. You can tell, guys, even for a space like this, look at all those folds. That's how you know that we have not skimped on that fabric. You can tell that this is high quality material, and it's definitely going to block out any light or anyone from being able to like look inside your office. Now, looking at that wall hanging, like, do you see the tones, you guys? I can also see a lot of texture and touches of gold, which tells me something. I think we're gonna be seeing touches of gold throughout this entire house. So when I see it, I'll point it out. But now on the floor, we have the same tile kind of harmoniously leading from the entrance area into here. It just feels so seamless. And the gypsum design, very, very simple. Recessed slides, we have the cove light over there, simple gypsum design. This room did not need a lot of fuss, but I just know that the furniture is what's gonna make it absolutely stand out. Now into the next room is the common bathroom. Oh, look at this. This is the entrance area. This is where you have, obviously you have your sink, and then you have your big mirror. You can tell by the selection of the sink. Look at how textured it feels. Like, look at that. It literally feels like they took a rock, like a slab of marble, and they just carved a section of it and just left it feeling very, very organic, which is so in trend right now because things like this age so gracefully. But you can also see the gold touches I was talking about earlier. We have it here on the tap and also here on the towel hanger, the towel holder. And of course we have this uninterrupted mirror here. Perfect, look at that. Perfect place to make sure everything is in check after using the bathroom. And of course, up there we have some really, really beautiful pieces. These were also hand carved by our experts. And then we did some bidding work and everything here was hand carved and then kind of created that entire visual experience that you're seeing up there. And this area also does have the spotlights, and we also have the LED lights just to highlight the mirror and make this space feel really, really warm. Now let's get into the main toilet area. And I love this space. I love how we've chosen to go with the wooden feel on the walls. You can see how we're really incorporating the experience of what's outside into the house, because this is an area that is surrounded a lot by nature. So you want to reflect that, whether it's in the stone that we saw at the sink or in here with the wooden feel. It just feels so harmonious. So I love that it looks like it's just raw wood. Like we just cut up some wood and put it in here. But of course it is made of durable material. As I go through, we will be talking about how fine urban is always about that quality. Of course, we have a toilet bowl here, and then we have toilet roll holder over there. But of course we have another art piece over here. I think this is just so hilarious. It's so quirky, but it just adds so much personality into the space. And of course this bathroom also has a nice tall window that is private, that still allows a lot of light to come in. Now heading out, I am finally going to follow the lights that are leading me into the rest of the house. But before I go, I just want to point out that this house is a smart home. Fine Urban is all about looking into the future and making our clients' lives easier. So everything we're doing is towards that goal. We have this panel here where you can control the lights, we have automated curtains, and we have so many other features that can be controlled right here, whether it's your music, sound. There's just so many different elements which we will be seeing as we go through the rest of the house. Now I'm gonna walk down these stairs which have been polished. They're really stellar. I actually feel kind of nervous about stepping on them because they just look so pristine. And while we're down there, we can also follow the design of the skirting that has been carefully placed. Like, Fine Urban is all about paying attention to detail. So there's not going to be an inch of this house that you're going to look at and not see all the work that has gone into it. And we have reached another point that would be perfect for all the guests. Ooh, let's make sure we're nice. This would be perfect. You're coming in, you're about to approach either the living room down there or the family room. You want to make sure that you're put together. You can stop here, make sure you look good. Everything is in place as you go and approach everyone else. But also, it's just another visual thing. You guys know we love our broken mirror designs, and I love how this one has been done in a way where it's still very functional, but it still adds a lot of interest. And on either side, we do have the Fine Urban touch of the paneling, adding another textural element, creating a space that was blank. And look at how functional it is now. It's absolutely perfect. Now let us keep going. And then over to my right, we have the kitchen, and to my left, we have a couple of bedrooms. So what I want to do is take a look at the bedrooms first, and then we're going to come back to this hallway and follow it, go into the kitchen, look at the dining, the outdoor area, and then we'll come back in, go into the living rooms, and that will be the call of the day. So let's start with the bedrooms. This is bedroom number 1. Oh my goodness! Look at that! Look at that piece! Look at that! The textures, the colors. I'm telling you guys, there's been an intentional choice made here to add in things that feel really organic, not only in the colors, but in the textures. I just love it. I really want to know where our lead designer sources these pieces, because it seems like every piece he chooses feels like it's been made for the space. And that's because when you're working with Fine Urban, we're thinking of this stage. We're thinking of how is it going to look in the final. So this art piece was probably sourced months ago before we even got to this stage, and we're just getting to experience it now. But the color of the room is a really warm beige color, ideal for any bedroom. We can see that the tiles on the floor have completely changed up. We've gone back to that organic feel with the wood feel. You can see that the veining of the wood is very exposed. It feels very, very organic. I can also see touches of that wood feel on the sitting area, which is also a storage area. We have this section right over here by the window, which is a perfect reading nook. I love that we've added these cushions here, which will make it more comfortable. But you can see here, we also have the wooden feel, and there we go. That is also a storage space. So absolutely perfect in terms of functionality. And while we're here, let's take a look at the curtains. I have said that the curtains in this house are so exquisite. If you take a really close look at this, you might see that there's gold threading in there. So we have a curtain that is mostly gray, playing into the tones of the room. Obviously, you want something that feels uniform, but when you go closer, or when the light hits it, it still has those touches of gold. So you can also see here, it's really thick fabric, lots and lots of gathering. It just feels regal, and you can tell that there's quality in it. Now let's take a look at the bathroom. I know you guys want to talk about the gypsum. We'll get to it because it's my favorite part. We're going to finish up with that. So we're in the bathroom. We're working with a very tight space. It's not huge, it's not too tiny, but we wanted to make the best out of it. So something that was really important for this bathroom was choosing fittings that are the right dimension. So we have this circular sink here. It doesn't feel too small. It still feels like you can do whatever you need to get done here. We've managed to increase storage even here, even with this limited space, so you can open that up and have a storage area down there. You have somewhere where you can balance any skincare or any products that you might be using day in and day out. You have a little cup here for your toothbrush and toothpaste, so you still have enough room to do whatever you need to do. And you can see the touch of wood. The wood continues. Everything just ties in so well together. And of course, you have your mirror. You need to make sure that you can see yourself and you can get everything done. You don't want to walk out of here and you have toothpaste at the side of your mouth because we didn't install a mirror for you. Apart from that, we want to look at the tiles. We've gone with bright tiles to bounce that light around, and then to add character, we have designated that portion of the wall to have this really bold tile with browns in it and blacks and dark grays in it. It just adds a lot of character into the space without taking away from all the light that's pouring in. When you look at the floor, you can see we've gone with the brown as well. Plenty of light coming in through this window. You have your towel rack. You'll have all your soaps, all your shampoos over on that side. If you have any, I'm someone who showers with those gloves, those mitts. So this will be a perfect place for me to hang my mitts. And of course, you have your rainfall shower head. The plumbing has been done excellently. You have your tap and you have your faucet over there. So everything is really, really neat. And of course, the enclosure for this section is glass to retain that sense of like openness in this space. And I'm just noticing right now, you guys, there's a mirror. We have a nook here again with more space for balancing anything that you might need day in and day out for the bathroom, but there's a mirror in here. So if you, for some reason, don't want to use that mirror, 100%, this would be the perfect place for you to come in and just be like, okay, everything's good. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all will be using that mirror for in the shower. Of course, we have the toilet bowl, and I want you guys to notice the fact that even though I said the space was small, you've not seen me bump into anything. My way in and out was simple and easy. The navigation has been made impeccable. First things first, I want us to take time in this house to really sing the praises of the gypsum design. They are simple, yes. That I will say. We're going with clean, simple lines. We're going for classic designs that will age like wine and not age like milk. So we have something really gorgeous here. The use of lighting, as always, those warm lights are really important for a bedroom. It has such a calming effect. It has been exquisitely done. The finishing is perfect. And of course, our centerpieces are iconic at this point. If you've ever watched a video of a fine urban project, you know that our centerpieces are always exquisite and they're handpicked by our lead designer so that each one of our clients is getting an absolutely unique experience. This centerpiece is yet another shining example of something that is so simple, yet so impactful and very, very exquisite. Another thing is this corner. I love to show you guys the big open spaces and oh my God, it's luxurious, but I also like to show you what we can do when we are greeted by a challenge. We've always been a company that takes the bull by the horns. So a space like this, we have the wardrobe. It is not the most well-lit area, but this was the ideal placement for the wardrobe. So what we've done here is you have our lighting all around to illuminate it. So we're playing around with being able to highlight the area, but also make it just feel like, ooh, the vibes. The vibes are fantastic. We have baskets here, which will be great for storage. And another thing is, even on the inside of the wardrobes, we still have that light. So whoever is in this room for those gloomy days, yes, they might have to switch on a light for their wardrobe to come and see it if it's a gloomy day. But I guarantee you, the way we've considered everything, if that door is closed, those windows, all that natural light is pouring in. So actually they won't need to be turning on the lights, but if ever they do, it is such a wonderful experience. And you can see we've been able to really maximize on storage over here. And of course, continuing on with those materials that we went out and sourced and figured out they really do fit with the vibe of the house, and also they're really, really high quality. We're about to go across into bedroom number 2. Wait a minute. We have yet another stunning art piece over here. And I love how it's being highlighted by the cove light in this area. This is humongous and it's such a bold pop of color in this house. And that's what I'm telling you guys. If you want to create a classic house that everybody will immediately fall in love with, it's not about having all the colors of the rainbow all over your house. It's about picking and choosing where to place them so they have the maximum impact without taking away from your ability to be flexible in your own home, because changing out a painting is easy. If you want to have something else here, easy. But imagine if we had painted the wall like a bright orange or a bright red. That would be very challenging if ever our clients fell out of love with that color. So these art pieces that you're going to see around is something that adds personality to the house, but also adds these bold pop of colors. Now, this hallway also has some great lighting. I told you the lighting is guiding you to the next spaces. And now we are in bedroom number 2. It just makes me so happy that so far every room we walked into, there's so much space, there's accessibility on 3 sides of the bed, and it's not small beds. These are huge. What is this, a 5x6? That's just to showcase how the space has been used in such a clever way that we were able to source the furniture that the client would have wanted, because you want people to be comfortable. These are dream homes, you guys. These are retirement homes. People want to be as comfortable as possible. So we really had to think about the layouts so we could source the furniture that would be fitting. We have those windows on either side, and I can see the curtains again. These ones have a more speckled feel, and I'm getting closer and I can already tell that those speckles have like a gold reflect to them as well. Smart design, subtle design. It is just amazing how impactful these small decisions can be. And we have yet another sitting area with a cushion in tones that reflect this room. I can tell like that room had more grays and tones of gold, just more muted than this one. This one feels like it has a punch of warmth in it, from the bed frame to the curtains to even the cushion in the storage / sitting nook that's right by the window. It's just, it's subtle, but you feel it. You definitely feel it in every room. And for this room, look at the chandelier. Look at that. How did I not see that when I came in? Wow, that is gorgeous. Gold and crystal. You can never go wrong with gold and crystal chandeliers. And the thing that tops it all off is the fact that we don't have white lights in there. We have these really warm bulbs, so it's so complementary to how the light is bouncing off those crystals and the gold. It just makes it feel so magical, and the way it's reflecting on the gypsum design as well. Chef's kiss. And then you can see while we're up there that here we have a more playful design, still leaning on the simple side. We have the circle in the center, and then we have those swooshes on the side. It just adds a different element and a different feel to this room. And of course we have our recessed lighting all around. We also have another feature here. I love the use of mirrors throughout this entire house because it's giving me so many opportunities to just stand and make sure as we continue, I am looking fit for form. So here we have this really gorgeous, it looks like a very abstract mirror. It's fun. It's a very, very fun element, but also very, very functional. Now we're gonna go into the bathroom. Let's say the differences. We have yet another bathroom that is not the biggest, but the layout has been considered. You can see the consistency with the shapes, but not necessarily the colors. Here we have something that is very, very pared back with the white. You can even see the design of the mirror is different. In the other room we have the circle with wood. Here we have something that just feels really, really white, clean, and aesthetically pleasing. We have a square mirror, but you can still see those touches of gold represented here. We have the toilet bowl, you have your towel hanger right over here, you know, your toilet roll holder, that spray thing that I was talking about earlier, and this feature that we have been seeing through the bathrooms of having just a gentle strip light to create an ambiance in each of the bathrooms. And while we're there, you can tell that for this bathroom, this wall has been chosen as the one that's going to have the impactful tile on it, but you can even tell the selection of the tile is different, but it still injects that element of warmth. And as we're walking into the shower area, now this is bold. In this bathroom, most of it is this like really fun tile with the warm tones, the character, so it just really feels like an easy transition. We have yet another glass cabin here. You have the same features that we saw in the other bathroom, as well as the mirror in the shower. But the thing I really appreciate is the consistency with the layout, the lighting, whether it's natural light or artificial light, that each and every bathroom does feel like it has been considered for human being. How do human beings use space? And for this bedroom as well, of course, we have storage in the appropriate areas. Now, heading back to where we started. We're back looking down at the living room and admiring this gorgeous handrail, which we will be getting into, but we are going down a couple of more steps into the kitchen. We are in the kitchen. Every time I walk into this kitchen, I just feel like I could live here. Everything is so gorgeous, and I've gotten to see it go from strength to strength. Like, I remember walking into this home and being like, that's a big kitchen. Like, I really wonder how we'll manage to handle all that space. That was completely unfounded, because if there's anyone you can trust with any size of space for any purpose, it's Fine Urban. We'll always give you the best solution. First things first, let's talk about the countertops. For me, the countertops and the backsplash are the thing that captures me as soon as I walk in. The white with the gold veining is jaw-dropping. And I can tell you that sourcing things like this, it does really take time to go and find things that will make sense for the project that you're working on, but also that are going to be high quality and durable. Especially in a space like a kitchen, your countertops are your main thing. Like, you really need to ensure that you have countertops that not only look good now, but will look good years to come after good use. We've ensured that we're giving our clients countertops that are going to be easy to clean and they're going to retain their beauty. Now, the next thing I want to get into, of course, is the storage. There's tons of storage here. I am looking around, I'm seeing drawers, I'm seeing cabinets, I'm seeing them in different colors, I'm seeing them at different heights. So we have a ton of drawers here and cabinets at the bottom. We have spaces for all the appliances. I'm even seeing areas in the countertops that have been cut out for very specific storage of spices. These will have spice racks that pop out, so they're completely concealed when they're not in use. Of course, here we have our golden sink. I just love this because it has that brushed gold feel, so it's not really garish. So we have our double basin sink here right by these huge windows. And then behind some of these storage areas, it's not just like cabinets. You have mechanisms that will make the whole using experience of this kitchen so much better. We have the bin right there. You have your secondary sink. There's definitely something right behind this door, and there it is, yet another mechanism, just making a use of those tight spaces in this Lazy Susan, where you can easily just pull it out, use it, place whatever you need to place, and then put it back in neatly, ensuring that nothing gets in your way. Of course, we have our pantry there. We're gonna go there in a moment, but we have more exciting things like, oh my goodness, look at that. I love this. I love this so much because it takes care of any strain that you might have trying to reach for things at a top drawer. So it's just easy to kind of pull it down to you. And this is what I'm talking about, the magic that is concealed behind some of these doors. And I just love the dimensions, the textures, the colors. Most of this is white, but you can see how we've curved out these layered designs on each and every door, which gives it more dimension. And then you have areas like this on the hood, which even more storage, of course. We have even more storage, and you can see that these ones have a wood finish. And not only that, they also have this ridges on it, just spectacular. And that I feel like that's why this kitchen feels so regal, because of things like that. And of course we have the hood over here, and you have your range with a pot filler. This is just something that's so classic. Like, it's so classic and it's so needed. And then you have your range here. It's like away from everything. It's private. I love the fact that we have a couple of switches here. And as we continue, we can follow this light. You can see we've also done great use of lighting in this space. We have more storage. Looks like we have a coffee maker here. I love how we've broken it up again with the glass and the contrast with the black. You can display things here that you need to reach for easily, and that won't take away from the beauty of the house, so you still have those opportunities. We can see we have these open areas where you can have like cookbooks. That's how I think of it. I want to know what you guys would store. Like, these open areas for me are like, oh, that's perfect for like a cookbook or something like that. But there's switches as well. Like, that one over there has a switch on it. So I don't know, could like a coffee maker, or like a what do we not have in here? Or like a microwave. That's like the perfect dimensions for a microwave. We even have an oven here. You can see we have the refrigerator, and this entire wall is that brown wooden feel. Like, I could just go on and look at the texture up there. It's the same as what we've seen there. We have it on this side with the wood, on that side in white. And now that we're looking up at the ceiling, we have our spotlights all around, and we have the chandelier. It's also gold and crystals, and that looks like an S for me. Maybe it's S for superb, S for superior, S for Stella. Like, it just has to be S for all things good, because that's what this kitchen represents. Now, speaking of more storage, let's take a look at the pantry. We have an extra fridge in here, plenty of lighting, because it's super important for a client to be able to see everything that they're storing, so nothing ever gets forgotten in the corner. And of course, we have tons and tons and tons of storage. Any extra food items that you might want to store for the long haul, so you don't have to consistently and constantly go to the stores. You have a pantry that is well lit and provides enough space for you and your loved ones to feel like you have all the provisions that you could ever need at all times. We have the outdoor kitchen that is easily accessible from the main kitchen, because these two spaces are definitely going to be interacting a lot. The materials have drastically changed, and this is another space that has had an unimaginable transformation. You can see it is a fully decked out kitchen with a very, very modern feel. It has an indoor-outdoor experience, because it is glass all around. We fabricated this entire structure, so it was not existing. I love the use of fairy lights up top and a sheer covering to retain that sense of openness, so you can still use the space whether it's a sunny day like today or it's a rainy day. We have this huge countertop, which is needed. You need an island and extra countertops, whether it's an indoor or outdoor kitchen. And of course, with our islands, we want to maximize on usage, so we add in storage. And you can also see in terms of the textures and materials, it is really harmonious with the kitchen we saw inside. I love the change in color. We're outside, so gray feels like a more gritty color. So I love that we still have the white, but we have like more of a gray veining. This looks like another piece crafted by the team here at Fine Urban. I'm seeing shelving that is in the process of being built in. It will be great for display and just extra storage room. We have another double basin here in like a gunmetal color. We have a double basin sink. We have storage underneath, more counter space, and a full-on range. I absolutely love this space. I see it being such a great space for socializing as everyone is cooking and just enjoying those evenings or afternoons or mornings. You could be here at any time of day and just really take it all in, because those views looking out into the backyard are just incredible. This space is fantastic. These lead up to the staff quarters. So also, if you think about the movement of the house, It's perfect for giving people privacy to be able to go in and out of the kitchen whenever they need to come in and do their work and then head back to their rooms. It's just easy navigation. And you can see even in the doors here, it mimics what we have at the front entrance in the design, continuing with that luxury feel. Now we are gonna head over to the dining room, and along the way there's still some features that we'll get to enjoy. Of course, we have these 2 seats here at the counter in the kitchen with bold colors and textures, just adding more to the function of the kitchen. I mean, with all this counter space, you're definitely going to want to sit here every now and then. And of course, the pièce de résistance is the aquarium. We have the aquarium, which is the visual welcoming into the kitchen, because you will also see it as you're heading down, descending the stairs, coming into this area, and it just is such a unique feature. Now we are in the dining room of dreams. I love this space. Have I said that about every space we've gone to? Probably, because I am enjoying the tour of this house. It is making my heart sing, because I'm like, we are just really innovating. We're growing, we're changing, and every time I see new exciting features in houses, it just makes me so happy. You can see the tile from the kitchen all the way into the dining room is the same. We're going with that feel of like minimalism and things that are harmonious with each other. That might be the word of the day, harmony, through space to space. So we have that continuity from space to space. This will be such an easy transition area for any food that's ready, to just get people helping each other to move things from this counter onto the table. You can see that we have some storage here with drawers. And of course, we have a sink here. This reminds me of the sink we saw in the common bathroom, but like it's more of a pedestal design than the one we had there. We have what looks to be a slab of marble where it has been smoothed out, but we have this area that has been left just untouched. It just feels so natural, so rustic, so raw. I just love touches like that. And we have the continuation of the gold on the tap and a mirror here. Look at that, is that leather? Those look like leather straps around that mirror. How unique is that? It actually feels like an art piece, a functional art piece, I'll call it that. So we have the mirror here, looks like it has some LED functions. So you can put on that light to get a clearer view of yourself as you're washing your hands. But let's look over at this side. We have some storage shelves, whether you want to display your wines or just have some decor pieces, because this area we'll also see once we go downstairs that it's kind of serving 2 spaces as well. Of course, we have the light strips there to just highlight any of these areas, and again, create vibes and ambiance. Now let's get to the table. Of course, when it comes to sourcing furniture, Fine Urban tries to pick out the most unique pieces. This is absolutely gorgeous. Continuing with the theme of like marble-like feel, this one has like a really bold color in the blue, which is not a color that we've been seeing a lot in this house, but this room definitely deserved a punch like this. And you can see that also reflected here on the console. Now this would be another great place to just have tons of storage. Look at that. Now looking on up, we have gone with the decision to mimic what you can see in the kitchen, which 100% makes absolute sense. You can see that practically this is just one long space. It's just one long room that has been divvied up in a very creative way to be 2 different spaces. So it makes sense to mimic, because these 2 spaces, as I said, they really do share a lot and they function with each other. And that centerpiece, I would pick that. If I was the one who was designing this house and I found a centerpiece like this, you would see it here in the dining room, you would see it in the kitchen, you'd see it in the living room, you'd see it in the bedroom, you'd see it at the entrance. I'm one of those people who finds a good thing and just goes with it. But this is absolutely perfect for this space, with the continuation of the spotlight and the cove lighting as well. Overall, with the high ceilings, this feels like a very welcoming and intimate space, which is definitely what you want for your dining room. Now heading on out, we have double doors that are very reminiscent of what we saw at the entrance in the design, with the glass, with the floral details. I want you guys to tell me whether you'd consider this a balcony or a veranda, but either way, it is a well-needed space. We have a very gorgeous detail up there with that greenery. I hadn't even noticed that last time I was here, but now looking up, it's those things that are so surprising about Fine Urban that just makes me know that I will enjoy doing this job for so many years, because there's always going to be something new to discover. It's such a cheeky way of reintroducing that sense of going green with our projects by just adding a pop of greenery somewhere. I think that's the perfect way to do it, because it still retains that sense like you're outside, there's green around you, and there's plenty of natural light penetrating from up there. So you could actually have like an outdoor dining experience if you decided that you wanted to do that. And of course, while we're outdoors, you can notice that there is a continuation of the gorgeous handrails all throughout. These must have taken such a long time, because it's painstaking work to ensure that you have uniformity no matter where you encounter them, whether it's inside or in a veranda here or a balcony up there or on staircases outside and inside the house. It is wonderful to see the consistency and the creativity of our experts. Head downstairs into the living room, which means I get to enjoy interacting with this handrail yet again and walk down some impeccably polished stairs with lights. I can see the lights, so that means if ever it's like nighttime, you still have the safety of knowing that you have lights on the staircase to kind of lead you up and down those steps. Now, as soon as you arrive at the bottom of the stairs, of course, you're gonna wanna go into this massive room that I'm looking at, but let's just start the journey here. We have a cold room where you can chill your champagnes and your wines. It's a literal room you can walk into. I love the use of LED lights to highlight it. I also love the use of this black aluminum and glass doors, just so you can get a peek in there and see what's in there chilling. See what I did? Chilling. But yeah, we are now entering the living room, greeted by more glass doors and beautiful lighting and a display area here. A space like this really just makes me think of whether it's vases that you want to store in there, or you have a family pictures or trinkets. This is such a great way to let anyone who has the pleasure of walking into this room to get a glimpse of what you and your loved ones treasure. Now, we have walked into the room, looking at the tiles. It's the fact that it's the same tiles that we've seen at the entrance, in the dining, in the kitchen, and yet in every space that it's in, it just gels in with everything. The choice to create these really, really incredible display areas on a TV wall like this is no easy feat. This is a tall wall. Look how high that is. And yet, Fine Urban and our team have been able to create a vision of what this space could be. We have the display areas leading all the way up with those LED lights. We have a fireplace right down here. And of course, that marble back there is just so eye-catching. It's incredible, it's stunning. There's so many details. And if I'm not wrong, some of the veining in there from a distance really does look like it's picking up the gold detailing that we've been talking about. And these are the things I'm telling you guys, our lead designer really, really deeply thinks about before picking anything. Now let's look up. Let's take a moment. Can we get a moment for the ceiling? Let me hear you guys cheer in the comments, because This has been one of my absolute favorite designs from day one in this house. Every time I've walked into this room, I have taken an exorbitant amount of time to talk about the gypsum, because those consecutive circles that have been done so impeccably, I can barely draw a circle on a pen, with a pen on paper, while I'm sitting down doing absolutely nothing. So to think of the feat that it took to create a gypsum design like this, and then just to know that you're gonna have lights to highlight all that incredible work and have a centerpiece. This centerpiece was just the cherry on top. That centerpiece is jaw-dropping. It makes me so happy to see the number of crystals that are in there, to see the touches of gold, to see the warmth of it, and to experience this room as a whole. Look at the use of space. Like, look at the use of space. Under the stairs, a space that I would be like, oh, well, you know, there's not much you can do with a space like that. But here we are creating cabinetry. There's a small sink of that, which makes sense. You're gonna be in this room, you're probably gonna have your drinks. And any drinks you're gonna have, you're gonna want some snacks. You're gonna wanna wash your hands. So we have a sink there. And then we have this retractable bar that also has a lot of character in it. And we have this gorgeous, like a tray storage area again, if you want to display some of your favorite drinks. And of course, when it came to the furniture, we had to make 100% sure that it was fitting for this space. Not only to maximize on the number of people that will get to sit here and, you know, have chats and just fully relax and enjoy the fireplace, but also it needs to make sense for the movement, how you're going to navigate around the room, so everyone can really interact with everyone. So I chose to sit here on purpose because I want to see if someone's sitting there, can I speak to them? If they're sitting over there, can we speak? If they're sitting over there, if they're sitting over here, 100%. And I can tell you, if I was to stand from that seat and sit somewhere like here, it's the same experience. And those are the types of things that Fine Urban thinks about. We want you to have the most wonderful experience living in your house, interacting with your loved ones, and these are things you might not notice. Now, this room also has another touch. We have other doors here that do lead to the outside. There we go. Ooh, there we go. We're outside, guys. We are outside and we're greeted by nature and greenery and beautiful tiles as well. I love the fact that even on this extension here, we have continued on with gorgeous tiling, ensuring that everywhere around the house is going to be easy to clean, but it's not taking away from the impact you get when you step outside and you get to see all the plants and the trees and the grass. It's just very, very welcoming. But since we're still talking about the structure itself, this is such a great place to also appreciate some of these pillars around the house. Now you come to the back of the house and you get an entirely different experience of the same design of pillars. These are so tall, they're so impactful, and that shows the consistency of Fine Urban. Whether it's the front of your house or the back of your house, the craftsmanship is always going to be impeccable. The regality of this house has not been lost. The dimensions, textures, and colors have been specifically picked to emphasize the beauty of the house. Now, let's head back inside the house and we can head on up to the next floor. Following some more of these cognac steps. We're gonna walk up these mahogany steps and use this mahogany handrail as we head into the family room. Oh, wow. This is completely different. Completely different. So first things first, tiles, paint colors, consistent throughout. We have such a stunning piece in the wall hanging there. You can see it's in 5 different pieces that have been placed to make this one image of a huge jet engine. And if you can take a closer look, you can see that the frame is gold, and that's why I really want to focus on that, because those gold touches, you guys, we're going to be picking them out. We have this impeccable handrail in black. It's so glossy and it makes those details pop, which they absolutely deserve to pop. Another thing is the texture. Now, last time I was here, I think this was a different color. I think it was like a really bold color, but I can see how we've switched things up and went for the colors in different elements and chosen to keep the wall more muted. And to be honest, that makes perfect sense because the texture still has that same impact on it. It's yet another feat. These panels are handcrafted by our experts as well. And now I am heading to a choo-choo train. This is a choo-choo train, but really, truly, it is a bar area. I really love that it's so cute. It's the cutest thing, but it is going to be a bar area, and it's complemented by yet another wall hanging here, full of texture and those gold flakes in there, just tying everything in. And of course, pièce de résistance. What is the pièce de résistance? It's that yummy espresso colored caramelly TV wall feature. I really want to know, where do you get these? Like, where do you get this? Someone needs to tell me how you can source something so wonderful. I just love the dimension of it. And if you know anything about slabs of marble, sometimes they won't fit your exact dimensions. So you'll need to like cut them somewhere so you can fit it. And the fact that I cannot see any lines just tells me that we are definitely working with the right guys who know how to handle materials. I've talked about how you can give a terrible fundi the best materials and they're going to mess it up for you. So you need an incredible team to be able to work with the high quality materials that we work with. And of course, look at this. Oh, look at the finish. Actually, let's take a closer look. Oh my goodness, it's finished all the way to the top. Like, it's completely, oh my goodness, that is wonderful. I love how it's complete. But anyway, the reason I was down there is to look at the fireplace. Look at that. I just love how fun that is. And the punch of color it actually adds into the space. It's just so much character. And something as simple as adding something functional that, you know, is supposed to heat up the space, but because we have that steam coming out and that color, it just is really impactful for the TV wall. Another thing we have is another sink. I think in the year of our Lord 2024, we need to have these kitchenettes in our living rooms, because we all know, let's be honest, who's sitting down watching a movie or watching a TV show and then are like, okay, I need a snack. I need maybe like a drink, some water or a juice or a soda or whatever. You're gonna need things like this because you're gonna have those Cheetos on your hands or Lay's, and you're gonna wanna wash your hands. So this is such a perfect little section to have here with a full sink, continuing with the marble theme. And here we have yet another exquisite space. Looking on up, as always, we have to look on up. And here we have like a staggered design. You can see it's actually going from a lower area into a higher one. And each one of those steps has been highlighted by cove lighting. And it also ensures that the entire length of this room is well lit, because the light goes all the way through each one of those sections. But just to add on to that, we also have the recessed lights dotted around. Now we can come back down to earth. We can look on down here, and you can see the punch of color I was talking about in the seats, and you can see the reflection of what I was talking about downstairs, the importance of creating community in these living spaces. These cushions just look so comfortable. You can move them by each chair and make it into like a bed You could actually do that. If you moved one of these to that side and the other one to this side, it could be like a bed that would be perfect for date night. When you just want to be cozy in your house, that would be so perfect. So I love the flexibility and the selection of furniture that has been made here, but I also really just enjoy the textures and the colors. It feels cozy. That's what you want for your home. You want a space that feels cozy. Now this room also has a huge sliding glass door that leads us out to the balcony. There's always a fight in my mind whether this is my favorite balcony or the one upstairs, because the views get better as you go higher, but I also feel like this is such a perfect midpoint. You get to see the tops of the trees, you can see some of the birds flying around. You can look down into the backyard. Look at our little squirrel over there holding the lights. It's just a great space to have where you can transition from your family room and step outside. You could have a couple of seats out here if you're just feeling like having some fresh air. It's perfect. And of course, we also have these pillars here and the continuation of that impeccable work. And of course, the handrail. The handrail here continues with the theme, so we consistently have that harmony. You can also tell that this feels very similar to what we had downstairs because the tiling has also shifted and there's consistency. Now we're going to continue ascending these stairs where we will encounter a massive window that's allowing tons of light into the staircase so that you have visibility throughout the day. But if you want more privacy, we have installed these chairs here just to create more privacy. And in the spirit of making use of every nook and cranny, we also have some storage over there. You can never have too much storage in your dream home. That's one of our philosophies. And we're now encountering the continuation of this handrail in this glossy black finish. Oh my goodness, who is that? Who is that, Mickey? That is Mickey, look at this. Another pop of color that just puts the biggest smile on your face. And I'm seeing something else on that side, but we will go to that side soon. I just love things like this. The blue, the red, but I think it tells us about the theme of this entire floor. So let's take a look at the bedroom over here, and then we can have a journey heading to the other end of the hallway and take a look at the other bedrooms. Wow. Immediately, I know there's so much to see, but for me, the thing that's really caught my eye is the floor. Now, we have seen tiles downstairs that do have this wood finish, but not in this deep of a shade. So this adds a very different element. It's the fact of playing around with the same ideas in very different ways. I really love that tile on the floor. And now let's look at the room. Huge bed, very laid back colors, very calming experience. The curtains are stunning. We have another texture here, but the tones really still play to the entire theme of the house. They're lush, they're thick. You can tell they're completely going to block out any light that might try to penetrate this room. We have a wonderful wall hanging right above the headboard with those gold touches. Very, very bold, very gorgeous, just a stunning addition. And this room so far has been the one that seems to have the most storage in it. So here we have multiple hanging areas. We have a display area here with baskets, meaning it'll be perfect for storage as well. It's not just for, you know, pretty things. It actually can be functional. There's a ton of flexibility with spaces like that. And of course, we have bedside tables. We have this gorgeous vanity over here, really shiny. I love how, look at how shiny those are. We're still playing into what? Gold and crystals, even at the handles of your bedside tables and your vanity. There has to be the thread that is woven through in big ways and in small ways. I love the continuation of the brown here on the lounge area, the nook, the reading nook, the window side lounge space? You guys would tell me what you would call this space. But yeah, that color really does play well in here. And of course, we're gonna look on up. When you're looking at fine urban houses, you always have to look up. Simple, exquisitely done gypsum design with a jaw-dropping centerpiece. Oh my goodness, between this one and the one we saw downstairs in the living room, I don't know. Oh, because I love how these crystals are so much smaller. It feels like a bunch of diamonds raining down on you. And then you have those bold gold plates all around. Such a statement. This one feels a bit more me, to be honest. This is stunning with the warm lights again. What a centerpiece, one of a kind, and every room gets to have that full-on experience. And speaking of this room being the one with the most storage, we have yet more storage right over here next to the bathroom with more open shelving and more closed shelving with that wooden feel on it. And now we're gonna step into my favorite bathroom. I've shouted this from every rooftop in Nairobi that this is my favorite bathroom. And that's it. There's only a few things that we're gonna see in the master bathroom that, you know, I might want to bring down here, but this is absolutely my favorite bathroom. The tiling on the wall with the subtle gold touches, the dimensions of them, how they've been installed is just yummy. The things I describe as yummy, which don't make sense, and this is one of them. And of course, we have the addition of this vanity here. Is that a hexagon one? How many sides? You guys tell me, how many sides does that have? Is it an octagon? Is it a hexagon? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. What shape is that? Whatever shape it is doing justice to this room. It's adding so much dimension to it. And of course, it's big enough for me to make sure that everything is in place and looking nice. And we have more storage here with crystals in the handles, which is, you can never have too much storage. Another mantra, you can never have too much storage. And this one has 2 cups. This has 2 cups, so you can have 1 cup for your toothbrush and the other one for your toothpaste or whatever you might need to store. You have your hand towel holder over there, and you have your toilet bowl. We have that classic strip light that you've seen throughout the bathrooms in this project. And of course, we have a huge shower cubic with a natural transition. You have a huge shower head, impeccable plumbing, and you have a space to put all your lotions and potions. Is it lotions and potions? Yeah. And of course we have the mirror, and you have a hanging rail over here as well for all your goods. But as I said, if I had to pick a bathroom, this one would be it for me. And I'm very curious to hear, as we're touring this house, I know we all love different things. We all have different tastes. I want to know what your favorite room or space or thing has been in this house so far. I want to see the things that we enjoy. Tell me what you love about space. Is it the color? Is it the use of space? Is it the tiling? Tell me what has been your favorite space so far. Okay, now that we are out of the room, we are greeted by a laundry area. So this would be a great place for organization and ironing and things like that. And you have our dryer and washing machine there and plenty of storage. And then as we continue moving forward, we have yet another space that would be a fantastic area to have some of the things that your family and your loved ones enjoy. For me, I always think of a space like this as somewhere I'd put memorabilia, we went on a family vacation and we picked out a really incredible big shell from a beach in Zanzibar. I would want to find a beautiful way to display it here, or there's a special vase I was given on my birthday, I would want to display it here, or even pictures of your family. This would be such a great place. And the fact that you have that contrast with the dark interior and the light exterior really highlights it, and will definitely make you pause and just be grateful for everything day day in and day out. It also has lights, meaning those things are well highlighted. Now continuing on, we have yet another nook. So many nooks in this house. Nook here, nook there, and it was all up to us to figure out the best use of those spaces. So we have where the ceiling really juts up. We have a huge circular window there, plenty of natural lighting. So how could we make this space functional? It's just a great sitting area. For me, I'd be like, come here, take your Instagram pics. If there's a problem I have in my household, is finding a good corner to take some nice pictures. But if you have a corner like this in your house, it literally feels like you're royalty. These seats are just perfect. You could just sit here and feel like absolute royalty. This is also a space that has great potential. If the family ever feels like there's something extra they want to incorporate or an extra story they would like to tell about their family, because we have this bare wall right over here. I've talked about like having a mural here, a family portrait. Like there's so much potential to use this space for something, and you can see with the placements of the light on either side, it's a space that's well highlighted, so it will truly be a moment for the family. Now, there's something I want to talk about while we're still here. A couple of things that you might not notice as we're walking through the house. I've talked about nooks and crannies and finding uses for them and how creative we had to get with some of these spaces. So one of the things about this house was there's a ton of pillars, tons of pillars around the house. It just made it a bit awkward. There was some downstairs in the main living room, and we were able to create that shelving, but also up here, that's what we've done. We've seen pillars and we've made perfect use of them. Now, let's head down the corridor where we are greeted by more beautiful, colorful artwork. We have the lights guiding us to the end of the hallway, but before we arrive there, we also have more storage along the way. Your dream home, you'll always be adding new things. You'll always need more storage. We have arrived and we're greeted by yet another art piece, and we're gonna go into this room. Join me. Oh, wow, look at this, guys. Oh, that is so beautiful. Is this a girl's room? This has to be a girl's room. What a wonderful, magical piece that is. It's so impactful. But anyway, let's get into the room. The tile, warm tones, wood feel, plenty of storage. I love that this room has a bit of a different dimension here with the storage area, but still continuing with those LED lights to just highlight anything that will be stored there. You can see we have a whole wall over here of closed off storage area, more display over on this side, and we have gorgeous, thick, heavy, luxurious curtains. Wonderful nook for reading, textured wall. It feels like this room has to be one of the ones that has the most character. The textured wall feel is just really bold and what this room needed. It doesn't have a bed yet, but I just know a big size bed could comfortably fit in here. And looking at up, maybe this is why it's my favorite, because we have those concurrent circles again, but in a much more delicate way with another gold and crystal centerpiece. Let's go into the bathroom. Oh, wow. See how the tile all over the wall goes all the way to the floor. So you have that, what do you say, waterfall feel? But yeah, let's say waterfall. It's just consistent from wall to floor all the way into the shower cabinet, so everything is uniform. We do have that strip light detail over there as well. We have our toilet bowl, the consistency with the black and white and the little spray thing and the toilet roll holder. But you know, for me, it's the vanity. This is a nice big vanity. We have the white tap with the gold handle. Harmony, consistency. We have a huge mirror here, and it is a concealed medicine cabinet as well, so you could have all your bits and bobs in here as well. We've seen the shower cubic. You know what the game is. I think at this point you guys are shouting some of these things along with me. Oh, look at that. I hadn't even seen that little detail there. Oh, we have 2 gypsum designs in this room. That's wonderful. I love that. So now we're heading across. my God. This room, we're back to the bold brown tile on the floor. The tones are calming, they're chill. The ceiling here is much lower, but from my understanding, this room initially wasn't like a bedroom, but we were showing our client that no, this room has potential to be an extra bedroom, because why wouldn't you want that? You want everybody to be able to fit in the house. We have a big vanity here. This room has a more of like a champagne feel to it. Tons of storage. We have storage over there. We have storage in the vanity. Big window, gorgeous curtains. The soft finishing here is impeccable. I just want to see the bathroom because I can see a sneak peek. Ah, look at that. This tile is similar to what we saw downstairs. If I'm not mistaken, it is quite similar to what we saw downstairs, and we've gone back to that theme of using tiles to create an impression in the bathroom. Warm tiles on the wall, and on the floor we have those brown touches calling back to nature. Nice vanity. Of course, in these spaces, it's all about navigation, tight spaces. So, is that bumping into anything? Is it hitting the toilet bowl? Is it hitting the sink? No, because we've thought it out. The sink has been pared back a bit more. It's circular, it's not taking up too much space. We still had room for a mirror, and this bedroom still gets to enjoy all the amenities all the other bathrooms are enjoying. We're about to ascend the final set of stairs, and we're heading to the master bedroom. We all know when it comes to the master bedroom, things are different. On the journey upstairs, as always, Fine Urban wants your eyes to have a feast. And that's why we have yet another cascading chandelier with textured glass and gold finishes that just it feels like, yeah, it's cascading down at you. It almost feels like some of these fixtures have movement to them. It's like a visual element of movement, so your eye is guided as you're following it down. I think it's gorgeous. Sometimes I'm afraid to touch them, but you must. You just have to. The temptation is too strong. And when you arrive up here and you think, oh my gosh, I'm just staring at the light, it's so beautiful, your eyes are captivated beyond the light. You're like, what is that? More texture on the wall? That was carved into that wall, in the concrete, into the concrete. I'm just like, the lengths that Fine Urban will go to create a unique home. And I think it's perfect because we have the warm tone, very subtle, and then you have that bold texture, chef's kiss. And speaking of bold, we have an oval design in the gypsum, and we have a recessed lights and spotlights. And at the top of the landing area, we also have a huge window, so light is coming to the staircase at all angles. And this one, you can see the shears, you can see the birds, we can see nature. I know at this point you're just like, get into the room. Let's get into the room. I feel like I want to scream. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Guys, that's it. I'm home. This has to be my home now. The space, just how it opens up, the huge bed, the art, the colors, the TV. Well, I'm like, where do I start? Where do I start? Okay, let me try and do this one more time, okay? Welcome to the master bedroom, you guys. The tiles have changed. We've gone for something that is textured, and it feels a bit more worn, and it has like a warm beige color, and that is the theme. The walls have like a cooler tone to them, but everything else just adds that punch of warmth that you need. I'm just like, where do I start? Okay, let's look at the vanity. The wood just keeps playing in this house at different levels, whether it's your tiles or whether it's your cabinetry or whether it's the furnishings. Like, just look. Furniture selection is no joke. Like, everything has to come together. You can see the bedside tables. I can see the touches of like a natural weaving pattern right over here. Oh, that is just something that makes it feel like that step above. Like, it just makes it feel more exquisite and more luxurious. The bed is huge, and of course that art piece catches your eye as soon as you come in, works so excellently with the cool tones of the wall. You know, I always say rooms need to feel warm, and definitely the fireplace is helping. It's keeping my feet very warm. This is quite nice. It's a bit of a chilly day, but it's not only like by having something like this, you can trick the brain into feeling a certain type of way. And that's why I always emphasize like, oh, it feels like this, because I'll walk into a space and I'll feel a certain type of way. And that's because of like the colors and textures that you choose really plays into creating like a cozy feel in it. And of course we have this huge fireplace that also has like a visual experience to it. And then we have the display shelves on either side. Like this thing is impeccably wrapped all around. Oh, wow, I love that. And of course, one of my favorite things that I'm like 100%, I need to have something like this in my house because I'm an avid water drinker. I'm an avid tea drinker. I need a kitchenette, an inbuilt kitchenette into my bedroom, because it's the perfect place on lazy weekends or on holidays to be like, you know what, I don't have to be downstairs early. I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee and sit out on my balcony, and then I'll go downstairs whenever I'm ready. Or those perched nights where you're just so thirsty and you're like, oh, now I have to go downstairs. No, you don't. You come into your kitchenette. You can even have a midnight snack if you have some chips in there or some cookies. Kitchenettes are perfect. I love the placement. That means we also have more storage, and we've also used that as an opportunity to have more texture there. This feels like one of those bedrooms that would have like a couple of armchairs or something like that, because there's just so much room. And of course, the bed is accessible on 3 sides, because someone tell me in the comments, why do I always insist that the bed has to be accessible on 3 sides? Let me know. Let me see who's really been following the channel. Now, this room also does have a balcony, as I mentioned. Huge sliding door. Step outside, we have a swing chair. Can you imagine your favorite book on a sunny day? I'm not gonna say because the cushion is not here yet, but on a sunny day, the sun's coming in, you can see the stream flowing. All that you're surrounded with is green and like pops of color in the flowers, and you can hear the birds. You see butterflies flying around, and you have your favorite book, whether it's a physical book or an audio book. The vibes are unbeatable out here. Listen, dream home. This is definitely the definition of a dream home. Now let us head into the walk-in closet. You guys, this is every girl's dream. This is every girl's dream. Walking in and having that mirror. What more could you want? With the broken mirror design like we saw downstairs, we have the continuation of the counter with the gold touches to it. We have drawers on drawers on drawers, tons of texture. That is the perfect welcome. And then you look up and you have these lights, these spotlights that are guiding you in. This space is so bright. It is so bright, which is so unexpected, because I've been here through this process. I have. And there was times that we had such a hard time shooting it because it was like, we're just not getting light. There's just not enough light. And here we are today. Everything has worked out perfectly. So all the elements, from the selection of the materials, the tones of the materials, so we continued with that wood feel, but we went for a very blonde tone. So it keeps this lightness and airiness in the space. And then you can see we broke it up with white, which of course is excellent for bouncing around light and just creating a space that feels much bigger. We have so many open storage areas with light. Each one of these spaces has these strip lights just to highlight, whether it's a hanging area or a folding area or a display area. And then we continue. You see these little shelves on either side right over here. I always have such a fun time just being able to do this. This is your shoe rack. So you're able to pull that out and then put your shoes and push it back in. I know some of you are like, Cynthia, not everyone has the best knees and they can do that. You don't have to do all that. You can just simply bend down and that's it. You place your shoes or you take your shoes out and It's as easy as that. Oh, that's soft close. Oh, that's nice. That is so nice. And then to maximize on the use of the space, we have added yet more drawers over on this end. And you can see that we left this window like this because of that light issue. We wanted to ensure that any natural light that we're getting from that massive window we saw at the entrance is still able to penetrate into this space and still give that essence of natural light coming in. Now we're gonna head into the office. We wanted to ensure that they had storage on storage on storage, and of course continuing with the theme of having the lighting around you, and have multiple types of storage in drawers, or where you can have your files kind of displayed. If you're I don't have an office. I don't know what goes in an office, but I know most offices I've been to need a ton of storage. So I think this is absolutely perfect to dedicate this entire wall to that. And on that wall, now that we had the free space, we have these 3 pieces that also are depicting another plane. What is going on? I'm very curious. Just like the touches of gold. I know that the touches of gold was a very specific request by the client, but also this theme of airplanes. I think that ties into our client a little bit. I'd be very curious to have a chat with our lead designer, but I really love the effect of that just almost taking up the entire wall. Now let's continue on. Let's continue on to the master bathroom. Oh, it is warm. It is so warm in here. The windows are closed. The fireplace is on. Oh, guys, the way I have just been freezing. Karen is one of those places where the weather just kind of does whatever it wants to do. So this is just perfect to walk into this bathroom. Oh my goodness, that feels amazing. But let's get into the bathroom. You walk in. The first thing you will notice is the boldness of the tiles, the dimensions of the tiles. These are some very luxurious tiles that have been installed impeccably. So we have the white with the gray, and then we have the bold black with the white veining on it. That is just such a power move. It feels like the perfect balance between a masculine energy and a feminine energy in this room. So everyone, it's a monochrome theme, so everyone's gonna walk in here and really feel good. And you can see for the vanity, we've also gone with that majority black feel to it. Nice, huge mirror. Let's see. I don't know. I feel like a kid every time I get to interact with mirrors like this. Oh, that one looks like it has like a frosty effect to it. But there's a theme of silver here. We have the his and hers sink, so everybody has their own space. But this is a very interesting tap. Yeah, very interesting tap. We have where you could have your towels. We have the bidet, the little splashy thing, your toilet bowl, and then we have this lovely big window, of course, frosted for privacy, but it is something that does still encourage a lot of natural light to pour into the space, and it's something that didn't exist. These are the subtle structural changes that find are being made that add so much into the house. And then we arrive at the display/storage space. Extra towels, extra toilet rolls, extra shampoos, extra lotions, extra soaps, anything that you'll need for your bathroom, toothpaste. Put it here. Don't let it take up room in your main bedroom or your walk-in. Have it all here so it's super convenient and easy for you to access everything that you need. And of course, we created another opportunity to have those beautiful ridges on all the doors. It's an ordinary Friday and you just want to have a good old time. You can still do that here with this because it's not just a tub, it's actually like a jacuzzi. So you have the jets in there, so you're gonna get that bubbling, you're gonna get those massages, and you can have a moment with your partner or alone. And of course, we have the big windows over there to encourage natural light to come in. And if there's not too busy outside, you could open that window and get to see the outside. I highly doubt anyone can see in here, but just to be on the safe side, the windows are frosted. And we have the centerpiece of this bathroom here. Here we have something that does still play with crystal, but silver. How things have changed up. This bathroom has silver details instead of gold details, and it absolutely makes sense. So we have the centerpiece, stunning as always. You have where your hanging rack over there, and of course, you must have a shower cubic. We don't all have time to be soaking in our luxurious tubs, do we? But we all have time to walk in here and have a quick shower. Ooh, oh, that's nice. So we have our shower head, rainfall shower as well, tab, everything is in silver. I'm taking a shower. I need something from over there. It's just simple. You just pull it over, access whatever you need, and then push it back and it's out of your way again. It's just nifty. It's the smallest things that you never think about, but that is a very, very nifty feature. And of course, for my shower mitts, once I'm done, I'll just like, bloop, just put them over there. I know we all have different things that we like to like wash our bodies with, but for anything you're thinking of, you can safely store it there. Nice big shower cubic. Now that we are done with the inside of this beautiful mega mansion, it is only right that we go to the backyard and see how Fine Urban Real Estate Construction and Interiors has been able to transform the landscape of this property. We all know that Fine Urban is king when it comes to interiors. We see the beautiful tile, the colors, the furniture, the wonderful quality in everything that we pick. But one of our biggest achievements in every property that we work on is how we transform the landscape. We love greenery, we love nature, and we just so happen to be in a country, in a continent that is abundant with greenery. So when we get our hands on a property like this here in Karen, that just has so much to offer and it has fertile soil, we want to nurture as much green as possible. People, or this client, entrust us with their homes. They give us their homes in a certain condition, and we want to ensure that we hand it back in an even better condition. And that's why while we're here, we're making sure that everything we do is working around nature. Obviously, I am outside right now, and everything I'm speaking of is being reflected in the background and in every step I take. This grass, these hedges, these trees, these flowers could not be as lush and thriving as they are if we did not take special care to nurture them as we were here working within the house. So you can see that we really take pride in not only incorporating more nature, but taking care of the nature that exists. Now, let's take a look at some of the things that we've implemented to highlight all these beautiful natural features. This has to be my favorite landscape piece. We have perfected the art of selecting the most eye-catching landscape lighting features. I remember the impression I had with the giraffe in Runda. That was jaw-dropping. And just when I thought it couldn't get any better, I saw when this piece was brought and I was like, that is the pop of color this space needed. Now, the main thing that we wanted to do was to highlight the beautiful features without making the space too busy. So that's so eye-catching. And as we're going around, you'll also notice that we have other bits and bobs of landscape lighting, but I'm about to head into a space where I just want to plop myself down for a second because this looks like the most comfortable space to just relax and just take it all in. This beautiful sunshine right now, you're surrounded by trees, the grass is green, and you just can't help but sit down and just take it all in. Now, this is during the day. There's so much I get to see and enjoy, but imagine in the evening when we have all the landscape lights on, it is a chilly afternoon, you have your glass of wine or even a hot mug of tea, and you just get to sit here with your loved ones and just have a good old chat. It is perfect, and that's what it was designed for. Now, there's a few other additions that are more permanent that we have added to this landscape, and that is this waterfall. How grand is this? Now, if you haven't been watching the journey of this property, first things first, I need you to go back to the channel and watch the videos because it has been quite a feat. And I've always said that when it comes to the designs of fine urban, you'll always feel like this is how the house always was until you see what it was like before. So go back to the channel and watch all those videos so you can get a true appreciation and understanding of just how much we have been able to transform this space. So let's take a closer look. It has been designed in a way where you can absolutely access it from the kitchen. You can see we have all these slabs to make anyone's walking experience easy. Each step, as always, has those strip lights. So if you want to access this at a later time in the day, you're able to see exactly where you're going. We have a little section here where I would gladly perch myself, but oh my goodness, you guys, I have to get closer. Look at this. So just like the sculpture we saw at the front of the house, it was a labor of love to get this beautiful lady here with her pots, and the water is running, and it's going to fill this entire space, and the water is going to cascade down into this level and then beyond. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, doesn't look very impressive right now. That's because we don't have the water on full pressure. We're running some tests to ensure everything is running smoothly, but just imagine when it's full pressure. There is nothing that would tear me away from this space. And another really clever thing about how we designed this is in such a way that really calls back to our Going Green initiative. If you've noticed, a lot of the elements in this area have been built around nature. So a tree like this one or that bush down there, we were very, very careful to retain and nurture these trees because we can't claim to be a company who cares about nature. But as soon as nature is inconvenient for any of our designs, we're like, well, I guess that tree's gone. No, we knew we wanted a waterfall here, and we wanted to prioritize building the waterfall around nature. This feature is unbelievable. It's exquisite. It is a joy to see and a joy to hear because running water is very, very calming. It's another one of those places where I feel like I could just stand here and just be like, well, we'll call it a day. But as always, there's so much more to see. So if you were to follow this path and go all the way up, we have a laundry area that is fully kitted out. We also have a hanging area, and then the SQs that we talked about earlier, which can easily access those spaces. But what I want to really show you guys, I'm super excited, is the fire pit. So let's go to the front of the house. We are going to navigate through the garage area, and just like any other space, Fine Urban likes to do everything in style. Now, you might be familiar with this if you've watched any of our other content. We have so many properties where the parking areas and the garage areas just feel so extra. And of course, this one just had to get that special treatment. So not only do we have the astronaut on the wall, making you feel like you're somewhere in space, but we've also designed the gypsum. There's a simplicity, like I've said throughout this entire property. The designs are so simple, but they're so impactful. It's in the way we have layered them. So here we have like a quadrant, and then they're all like going step by step inside. So it gives you that sensation of like an elevated ceiling, and the placement of the lights, and of course, the finishing. It's a garage. You would think we'll just be like, leave it flat, but with Fine Urban, you're always going to get so much effort in all your spaces. So how many cars can fit here? You guys know I'm not the best judge of what that could be. I'm thinking 2 big cars. Am I right, or is it more than that? Let me know in the comments. So this is the approach of the house. You can see we have plenty more parking space, but just like we saw with the back of the house with all that greenery, we want the introduction of the house to also reflect that. So you can see that the client already had those notions. There's plenty of plants in different heights and different colors. So we want to extend on that. We're going to have an entire live wall guiding our client and their guests into their home. And this is actually where we started. I started approaching down those steps, and you can see how that greenery really encroaches onto the house in a very pleasing way. But as I said, there's one place that I'm super excited to show you guys. So we're gonna go up a couple more steps and head way up there to the fire pit. Walking up these steps, it makes you feel like you're heading to like an exclusive club or something. And with each step, I can also see that there's lights. So it really will create a fantastic ambiance if you're approaching this area during the night. We also have this grass patch. If you've noticed, there's a theme that everywhere you go, you interact with nature somehow. And here, of course, we had to make sure we have the greenery, and it will be so perfect if you're tired of sitting up here and you just want to lounge on the grass. You could also do that. Now that we are at the top, wow, oh my goodness, the feeling of being up here. You know what? It says, today is a good day. And indeed it is. When you get to experience views like this and a property like this, how can you not have a good day? Oh, is that a barbecue area? Look at this. Oh, I can just tell, just like the outdoor kitchen, this has been fully fabricated by Fine Urban. I'm sure it's going to be so suitable for outdoor use. We have the continuation of the fairy lights, but y'all know what I'm here for. I am here for the barbecue. It is impeccable to be perched up here and take it all in. This is what dreams are made of. You can see from here our statue at the entryway. So it's not only impactful from down there, also up here, you're getting that light. This house is gorgeous. The property is gorgeous, but in the evening, it's gonna have a whole new dimension with the fire pit on. Just resting up here, having loads of chats and laughter, or having a solo moment, again, with that good book that you really enjoy. What more could you ask for? This is it, you guys. It has been yet another fantastic tour. It's unbelievable where we started with this house so many months ago, and to be able to be back here and tour it and see what the finished vision is with all the small details that truly make this house one of a kind is amazing. And believe it or not, this was not the final reveal. So you guys have to stay subscribed, hit that notification bell to ensure that when we're back here to do the final reveal, you're amongst the first to see the finished product. This is definitely one of those properties that you're not gonna wanna miss out on, because truly, this is one of the most luxurious homes in Kenya.